Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I appreciate it so much, and what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and build a pergola. We're not doing it on a flat surface, we're doing it like a lot of people have to do it. Out on sawhorses and so forth. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff coming up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that little notification bell. It's going to tell you when another video comes out or a continuation of a video comes out. Let's get on to the pergola build. Go and get that. Like I said, if you need to put a straight edge, to help you cut a straight line, there is no shame in that at all. I use it as much as I can, but I've been able to cut pretty straight for a while now. But yeah, I mean, I use a straight edge whenever I can. It's just on this, it doesn't need to be that close when you're doing it. So we're going to go ahead and knock this out and get all these cuts in here for it, and then we'll go ahead and do it just like we did the notch. Yep, there's them notches again. Like I said, I like to use a screwdriver. It just seems to work well, and you push away from the edge so you don't ding up your nice cut. But you want to go ahead and keep a board handy to make sure that everything is, it slides in okay. You don't want to go over and cut too much of a gap. But this here is, like I said, when it's one board, it usually will go on okay. But you'll leave this like this, and I'm going to show you a way that you can actually, do it with the saw without having to use anything else or chisels or anything to make this a flat bottom. So let's go ahead and line that up, and let me show you how that works. Okay, make sure you keep the saw in there parallel to your cut, and just kind of move your saw back and forth. Just real easy. You don't, like I said, this is not that precise where you can't maybe nick an edge or something, but this is just a good way to do it, and it's a fast way to do it if you don't have the chisels or you don't have the router or what have you. It's just kind of a nice way to do it. I like doing it this way because it just doesn't take as much time. Yep, works well. Let's see what it looks like afterwards. Now let's show this. Let's get this done, and that's what it looks like. You may have to clean up a little bit, but when you're talking about pounding screws in there, which we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and pre-drill these now that we've got these done. And you want to go ahead and make a mark on one side to where that center is of the notch. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a line across them. It just needs to be a faint line. It doesn't, just so you can see, and keep it in line. That's kind of nice instead of just having screws everywhere. Yeah, I like to do this. It only takes a few minutes to do it this way, and you're doing it on the ground instead of up. Now here's the lag screws that I use. These are phenomenal. I love these things. I'll have a link in the description for them, but those just work. Nice head on them, anti-corrosion. And this one here is a 6-inch. I only use a 2, 6 and a 4. This 6-inch will take care of that. And we'll go ahead and get them drilled out. And it doesn't, as you can see, I don't have to use a drill bit that goes all the way through. You just need at least half of it, and it will work. And it's much easier to do when you do have a pilot hole so that it holds the screws when you only have the one hand to work with. Next is the decorative part. This gets really tedious actually, but I built a jig here, so you can choose any type of unit like this, but you want to hold your pen like this so it gives you a line about 1/8 of an inch away from the actual jig itself. But I like building jigs like this so I can use them later. But yeah, it's I'm sorry about the wind. It's been terrible out here lately, so it's been messing with the sound. So that's why I'm doing a voiceover on this. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this cut out. You can stay close to the line, just not on the other side of it. Okay, so when we're done, all right, let's go ahead and get the jig back on and let's finish this decorative cut up. Now remember, we got a lot of these to do, so having jigs like this is going to make your life a lot easier. So you're just going to take it like this, so you're taking it to the line, and you're going to just use a straight bit with a actual roller bearing on one end, and that way it runs on the bottom. And then you actually have that on the top that's not going to cut into the top either. So oh yeah, slow motion for effect. And a lot of times with a good bit, you're not going to have to worry about touch up. You may have to do a little sanding on it, but that's about it. Now if it's fine furniture, that's different. Okay, now we're going to do the knee bracing. Knee bracing is out of the 4x6, and these are real easy to do. You want to set it to 24 inches, cut it at a 45-degree angle on one end, and that is for your inner front to backs, or side to side actually, knee bracing. And there is one. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut a scallop out of it. So I want to set this a 24-inch piece and set the nails in about 1.5 inches. So what that does, when you take a metal ruler and just push it in about 1.5 inches, just like that, and that's going to give you a 2.5 inch from each area there. And just go ahead and cut that out, or draw it out, and then you want to go ahead and cut it out, and now you have a template for all those that you're going to be cutting out. And this can be done with a jigsaw if you have a long blade. Having a nice bandsaw really helps. But yeah, you can do this with a jigsaw. It's not that big of a deal. That way you get a little decorative to it. You can do all kinds of stuff to it, but I just like doing a nice curve, and it makes it look really nice. Now this is the notch we need to cut, and it looks like this. You can set your chop saw to go ahead and only go down so far there, which is for that small notch. And then you make sure you set it up so you can just be repetitive with it, and set up here and put it up against your block, and it's going to cut right on the edge there, and you're all set. Then you can cut the other parts out. Now this here, we're going to go ahead and do the chamfering on the side of the beams. You want to measure up from the bottom 12 inches and measure from the bottom to the top at 7 foot, and make your mark here. That's where you're going to chamfer those. You never want to chamfer all the way through, just there so it's nice to the touch when it's sanded, which in fact reminds me, now it's time to go sanding. Oh, I'm not a big fan of sanding, but it needs to be done. And the good thing is I'm not going to be taking this down to smooth. You know, what you want to do is you want to take it so it's smooth to the touch. You don't get splinters, but you still have a nice grain look to it, which I'll show you when we do stain it here. But like on the ends here is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break the edges just with the sander. You want to do kind of a hard sand here. Make it as smooth as you can, and when you stain it, you want to flood it. It's just for best protection. Yeah, and then you can go all the way around and just like I said, break the edges. But it makes it look nice. And that way water will run off it. But yeah, see, this is kind of where I wanted it. I wanted so it had some texture, and it had kind of a rough sawn look without the rough sawn. And it just makes it nice when it's all done. We're going to be using an oil-based stain protection from Seekins, but it's really makes grain not pop up because of the oil base, and so you don't have to sand it after. Yep, once you get it done, you want to flood it. Like I said, you want to put a couple of coats on if you can. But it makes it look nice. This is a cedar. Just really, I like this color. I like the way it looks. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and set it up for put it on the deck here. We have string lined these. We have checked measurements for square. You get your plates down. I needed that extra inch, and that's why I used the plates like this. And set up your, they're 12 feet center to center all the way through. Then it's 10 foot to the front to the back. But you want to get the one side set. If you have to, use bracing on it if you can't get to the next part. But here you go. When you get both of them done, now you want to go ahead and put in the rafter parts that are going to connect at each beam. This way it holds it. You start getting this thing tied in now. And, you're going to be bolting it in. You're going to clamp it there. It goes over that. You have your notches. It holds there. Just a nice setup. Once you get that, then the rest is very easy. You can do this by yourself. Okay, next up we have all the main structure up, what you want to do first, and then you can start putting in your center ones. But just to let you see how it actually wraps. So you just have this coming on this side, sandwich on both. This is how it's going to start. Now, with the regular plans, you would take this and use the same board, but move it this way because you're doing a flat side on that side. You would just exchange it for this side. So now we're going to go ahead and put the center ones in and get those marked, and then it's a certain distance from the center out for the rest of this main structure inside here. So we'll get that and we'll get it shown. Okay, here we are. We're going to use those 6-inch screws, those 6-inch lag bolts. I do the front one first and get that put in. I do not do the rear one until all of the rafters are in place and screwed down on the front one. Then I can squeeze in that one and do all those. It just makes it easier to put it together instead of squeezing it. But yeah, you just kind of, you want to just drive these down, and you really don't want to break them into the wood. You know, so you just want the head just to kind of snug into it. And we'll do that one after. Okay, so I'm working from the center out. I just always have done that instead of working from one end to the other, since it is a centered, you know, all these measurements are going to be the same. So yeah, I just do it that way to help sturdy it up. When you do this, after you get your rafters up, you're going to want to do your purlins, and you want to build a spacer. This is a spacer. Yeah, once you're all set and you know you're going to be that distance, it just makes it nice. It helps you straighten it out, any wood that's twisted or... But yeah, take it down like that. Just, you don't want to break it all the way through. Like, you don't want to countersink it. Now, we went this way. My wife liked it better, is doing the flat ones instead of notching them out and putting them the other way, on end. So we just decided to do it that way, and it seemed to work out really good. Gives us a lot more shade. And here you go. We're going to go ahead and put the knee bracing in. This here is where it slides up in between the top two, and you go ahead and get it set. It's 45 degrees. Make sure everything's level and straight, and you can use your 6-inch lag screws here. If you're in a real high wind area, you could actually do a 3/8 lag bolt and just sink them in. You know, I mean, but these here have actually held very well. Like I said, you just kind of take it to the head where it just kind of gets in there, and that's where you want it. That way you don't get the splinters. And now I'm showing you here where you can see how far up that notch, or the notch, goes from it. So this is where you're going to bolt this in. Just find your center and just make a mark there, make a mark here. And this is how you're going to do all of it. Even your main girders there. I just clamp it in place and drill them. This one here you don't have to because it's already set. But you want to go ahead and get the first one in. Yeah, it's a long bit. Okay, then you go ahead and set your bolt, which I designed this so the bolts are all the same. I did want a whole bunch of different things. So let's go ahead and get these in. And we go ahead and get it tightened down. And as you can tell if you watch my shirt, how it's flapping in the wind, or even the bushes out there. Okay, let's go ahead and get the second one in. And just get her snug down. Okay, on the very ends, here's how you're going to have to do these. You go ahead and cut your pieces there and screw them in from the sides. And that way you can just use your knee brace right into that instead. Now you can also make them a little bit longer to make a match, but this doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, it's all set there. And as you can see, it just turned out really nice. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. It's what helps us out. And if you would like, is maybe subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that way you get a notification whenever I put out another video. And remember, the first come first serve on a lot of these. I'm going to have free plans for everybody that gets there first. Only a certain amount though. But I hope you enjoy it. And remember, if you have any questions whatsoever, just put them in comments and help me out here. If I did something you know is wrong, let me know. If I did something right, let me know. I appreciate it. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, but if there's anything that I do that you could tell me to do better, please put it in comments. I'd appreciate it so much. You know, I try to do everything right, the best I can, but it's always nice to have help from others. Remember to subscribe and hit that thumbs up for me. I'd appreciate it so much. That means a big deal for me. So until next time, and keep making. Hey everybody, I just want to say thank you for watching the video all the way through. I surely appreciate it so much. And if you haven't already, you can click this button right here to subscribe. That would really be great. It doesn't cost nothing and you get really cool stuff coming. Hey, you can also take a look at right here and right here for other cool videos. But I do appreciate it and thank you so much for supporting the channel.